were born before the wind, also younger than the sun. Yeah, the bonnie boat was one as we sail into the mystic. Hark now, hear the sailors cry, smell the sea and feel the sky. Let your soul and spirit fly into the mystic.
Welcome to yet another fabulous episode of Three. I'm here with our master astrologer, Kris Gray, our intuitive medium, Rainy Day, and me. I do tarot, and that's my specialty for the last 22 years. We are here today to answer your specific question. Now, we have a very, very special guest in the wings today. And usually what happens was when we bring a guest into the studio, we just vibe on that person. We don't care what they ask us because we're going to just vibe with what we pick up. But also, I want you to make sure that you're going to our website, WWW.3THREE.Vegas, if you'd like to zoom into the program. That's how you get to be on the program, is you go to how to be on Three, you reach out to us through the contact page, and then we get you on the program. So just letting you know, we'd love to have your vibe on our show too. So we're going to be back in just a minute with our special guest.
Hi, my name is Edgar Alejandro. I'm the co-founder of Rising Again Productions. So we've been here in Vegas producing films for the past couple of years, and we've seen our fair share of studios. We've worked in our fair share of studios, and to be honest, WWDBTV has been our favorite by far. John is so welcoming. The space is wonderful. It's perfect for what we need. We've had rehearsals here, we've had callbacks here, we've had table reads here. So if you're a Vegas creative, or really just a creative coming into Vegas, definitely check out this space, chat with John. I think you'll find that this studio has everything that you'll need as well.
And we're back, and we have the most amazing local broadcaster in Las Vegas on our program. This is the amazing Lark Williams.
Well, hello, everybody.
Welcome to the program.
Maybe I'm the longest lasting broadcaster here, so.
Well, here's what's so wonderful about Lark. Not only has she been the voice of classic radio for all the time I've lived in Las Vegas, but she is the first woman to be inducted in the Nevada Broadcasters Hall of Fame.
One of the first, yeah.
Not only one of the first, but one of the first women to be inducted in the Hall of Fame, which is amazing. Her voice is in everybody's head during the afternoon drive and the radio. She's on Lotus Broadcasting. She's been there for the last 5 years after a bit of a hiatus, finding her spiritual way. And now we get to have her here on the program. Lark, welcome so much to the program.
Mona, thank you. It's great to be reunited with you. And then now we got the extra dosage of magnificence here.
Yes,
this is pretty cool.
That's absolutely true. So now your chart is right in front of Kris.
Mm-hmm.
And all three of us are just tuning right into you. So we're going to have you choose who would you like to have read you first, whether you want tarot, mediumship, or your astrology chart.
I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, we put you on the spot because we don't do it in the same order every time.
Well, let's go, since she's closest to me, let's go with Miss who's got the chart here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fabulous,
Great.
Kris.
Have you ever had a chart done before?
It's been a long time since I've had it read, and I've tried to dabble in it, and there's so many layers to it. I just go, no. Pluto again, no. Another this, no. So I look into it, and like I said, I've taken courses, but it's not for everybody. Because there's so many variables and aspects that you have to take into consideration. It isn't just you're looking at this, you're looking at this. It's quite accurate when you know what you're doing.
It is.
You know what you're looking for.
Yes, absolutely. Incredibly detailed, layered.
Yes.
That's so funny because out of all the people that I've read before, no one ever understands that.
Oh, only if you've tried.
Yeah.
You tried to yourself. Oh, I got my chart right here. And then you start going into it and you take a few courses, and oh, there's more. Oh, there's a lot more.
Yeah.
We're getting into this
There's
thing,
still
and
more.
triangles,
Yeah.
there's hexagrams, it goes. Yeah, I don't have to tell. So I really have tremendous respect for the knowledge, the work, the expertise, not only to study your own chart, but to do someone else to look at something that's foreign and all of this.
Yep.
The houses, you get a lot going on in there. A lot going on.
Oh, I love that. I love that you're
So
so
I appreciate
familiar.
you
That's-
already out of the gate. Well, all
That's
of you,
awesome.
of course, but this, yes.
So I'm 30 plus years in, and I'm still learning, still connecting stuff. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
endless. It's an
The
endless
more
journey.
you stare at it, the more it talks to you.
That's true.
When you see what's coming in down the pipeline, what's past, I don't have to tell you. I'm not the expert you are.
Okay, so then you probably already know you're an Aquarius rising.
Yeah.
Yes. Aquarius rising and then a Sagittarius moon. So you're ruled
Sagittarius.
sun.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry about that. Yes, sun. So you have this freedom loving personality and very open to opportunities. And usually when I see that too, it's like open to different cultures and world connections. And you probably have friends from all walks of life. And so then that Aquarius rising, you're ruled by Uranus. So Uranus it's very eccentric and unique, and just you probably go for the shock factor with people. But with that sun in Sagittarius, and you also have I love this placement so much. You have your Mercury in Sagittarius. So your Mercury is your communication style, and then also it's your mental facilities, like how you process information. So Mercury and Sagittarius, they are some of the most blunt people, and they're really honest, like very, very honest. And so I appreciate that because I like to know where I stand with people, and you're one of those people that everyone always knows where they stand with you. So you have that shock factor with that Uranus ruling, but you also have Mars located in your first house, and so the Mars is the action planet. That's how you execute things, and so it's in your first house, which that's you are a powerhouse, like a doer, so you're very, very get it done type personality. You have a lot of vitality too. Usually I bet when you get sick, it's not for very long. It's like you kick it real quick. But you're just full of just vitality and energy, and people attract that, or they're attracted to that about you. And so I'm going to move down to, so even though you have a lot of air and fire, but you're still grounded because your moon is in Taurus.
Oh,
and so
the moon, the shopping moon, right? The Taurus moon.
So the love for luxury. So that moon, your moon is your emotional, your gut instincts, the way you process emotions, but it's also things that you do just instinctually. So yeah, you probably are a shopper because that Taurus, they love all the luxuries in life, but they're also very grounded too. So it's almost like it's not necessarily that it's a dollar amount that you place value on. It's what is that value to you? So it's not necessarily like a monetary type value. So sometimes when I see that, like if you shop, let's say you're shopping for a watch or something, and you're like, well, that's a great watch, but is it worth that? No, it's not that it's that much, but it's that, is it valuable to you? And so that's usually the way that I see it, kind of the moon in Taurus. So I'm going to go over to your sixth house, and your sixth house is your house of work. It's also your house of health as well. But so you have lucky planet Jupiter in your sixth house. And so it's the luckiest planet in astrology. And so this tells me that you have a lot of opportunities that come to you in your day-to-day work. Like people are really attracted to you. And so because of that, and you also with that Sagittarius sun, because you're so open to experiences, you actually bring in that energy too. And then this also gives you a little more grounding as well, because the sixth house is naturally ruled by Virgo, and then your moon is in the Taurus, but because your sun is in Sagittarius, Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, but you have your Jupiter in your sixth house. So you're actually really grounded for having a lot of fire. So you're like this perfect mix of like powerhouse, get her done type woman. And then you also have this grounding to you as well. So as it relates to relationships, you have this placement that talks about relationships can be very transformative for you. So not only transformative for you, like the relationship actually changes your views and who you are, and you have these very deep experiences, but also you have a big impact on other people as well. And so through relationships, you transform, and you can kind of reinvent yourself as well. So I'm going to go up to your 10th house. 10th house is your house of career and public reputation and kind of what you're known for. And you have your big, beautiful sun in your 10th house. And so when your sun's in the 10th house, it shines the light very bright. That's where you put a lot of your energy. And so I'm not surprised to see you as a Hall of Famer, because that would definitely indicate that you've received a lot of recognition for your work and what you have contributed to your industry. And so there's also the Mercury that's placed there too. So that says that you're kind of known for this personality of like shining the light on things, like bringing truth to things. And so also that being really blunt and honest, it's like you're known for that in your communication style. It's just very open and being very transparent and honest. Let's see. So you have some really big aspects going on, transits going on for you as well. So one of them is a lucky planet Jupiter, which you're ruled by. You have a lot of Jupiter in your chart. So this is going to affect you. It is a long lasting transit. It started for you probably about in June, and it's going to continue probably until about May of next year. And it's going to bring a lot of opportunities for you through, it could either be like home, like housing, or I usually see this in real estate. So if you have any interest in investing in real estate, this would be a very lucky period for you.
I have to go next.
Uh-oh.
We might need this. Hi, love.
Hi.
My name really is Rainy Day.
Yes, I love that.
Oh, I'm just overwhelmed. As you walked
What I've
in,
survived.
I'm hearing the love of my life. As you walked in, you had this male, beautiful soul come right behind you. I only have eyes for you. It's almost as if he gave you both of your wings. Like I carried your bag everywhere. I supported you. I was the only man that could keep up with you and challenge you on your stuff. He is on the other side.
Yep.
This is a soulmate, and I've rarely seen this. It was so painful for him to leave you.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, but I've never seen such a pure love. Did you lose a partner?
Oh, I did. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
And my whole world. It was.
It's almost as if you were a
gave me my
unicorn.
strength. We were, yeah.
You were a
It'll
team.
be 17 years ago next month.
Oh, he's always around you.
I mean, November.
All the
This is
time.
November.
It's as if it
Yeah.
happened yesterday. And it was like really out of the blue, a surprise, but he wants you to know he's still supporting you. He's still holding your back up. But it feels as when he left, it's almost like a unicorn when their horn gets cut off, they lose their magic. And he's sorry that you lost your magic. And he didn't want to be the reason why. But he will find you again through all space and time. And when you take your last breath, he will be holding out his hand and you will reach up and you will be reunited. He really fought hard to be here and be born in the time that he was, because he's been searching for you and you haven't. Oh, honestly, I'm so sorry. I don't know why I'm so overwhelmed, but this man, amazing. But you don't experience relationships like they had very often.
No.
Wow.
This is a love through all space
I
and
didn't
time
think
that
I'd make it
everybody
through what the years after that. I'm still very close with his mother, who's now showing signs of dementia, and so it never really leaves me, but it's taken me years to find, because everything's a gift. And because I am empathic and energetically sensitive, and as Mona knows, I've always had,
You've always circled
since
around it.
I've
Yeah.
had people around me that read and this, and I know that there's still communication that goes on, but this hit me so hard. I just didn't get back up for years.
It's
and
the
years. And
unicorn with his
Yeah.
horn cut off and it lost his magic. And now you were trying to fly with only one wing. But you're getting them back.
this is interesting validation, because when I walked in, I said, I feel like all these years, 17 years ago, he passed this year.
But it
It's-
feels like yesterday.
Yeah, but I finally feel like I am feeling like this is the best time of my life.
You've come
No matter
back.
how many years, they're not lost years. They're years that were always by your soul's design. You know, when
Right,
you look at
right.
the biggest picture, your soul's design blueprint was, for whatever reason, whatever choices he was making at that time in his life, one of us was going to go down
Mm-hmm.
because of what was occurring.
Mm-hmm.
It was, like you said, everything until it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And then it became, where I had to separate myself, and within 3 weeks of that, he died. But
Yeah.
this is so incredible, because I don't speak about it. People, I'm a public person. People know who that person is.
I have no idea.
But
What was his name? Because I hear heaven.
Kevin,
And it right
Kevin.
Kevin from heaven.
Kevin Dubrow. He's the lead singer of Quiet Riot.
Well, here's the weird thing, because he said you could have chosen anyone. And he said he wasn't the prettiest.
So, I haven't
There
done
was
your,
a soul connection. I wouldn't have seen. Who knew? It was crazy.
okay, so I just picked up my card. I know it's not my
Dude,
turn
go,
yet. Wait,
go.
hold on.
Yeah. No,
But the
we'll
card,
jump in,
hold
everybody.
on, the card on the bottom
Hmm.
is the
Past
soul
lives.
past lives card.
The
Wow.
soul connection.
So you have been with him in every lifetime.
Wow.
And it's been different relationships. It's been father, mother, it's
This
been
feels so
sister,
familiar to me.
brother. It's
Okay.
I think that you're going to start experiencing, oh my God. And then I cut to the psychic gift card. So not only do you have the cards I cut to, the bottom card was the soulmate past lives card. And the card that I cut to is the psychic gift card. That's your card. Okay.
But she is now transforming. This is the
Yes.
beautiful butterfly coming
Yes.
out of the cocoon and actually drying off their wings and flying. You are
Okay.
flying.
So here's the other thing, is that I'm going to clear the cards here real quick. I'm going to cut them again,
Thank you.
It's not from me, it's from them.
and I'm going to draw your cards. So it's been 20 years since I've drawn your cards. So this is going to be
I
interesting.
got chills already.
So
No,
here's-
no.
And
Here's
when you're
the-
done, I have just a little more.
Of course, of
Me
course.
too.
So angels around you, there are actually three. There are three angels around you. One of them is him, Kevin. All right. By the way, when was Kevin's birthday?
October 29th.
Oh, Scorpio.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, holy crap.
29th,
Okay.
1955.
So there are two men around you right now that are going to be important to you. One has got a super high ego, and you're initially going to wonder if Kevin sent him to you. But please do not let yourself get romantically involved with this man, because you're going to find out that he's fake. Your own intuition is going to go, oh my God, he's amazing. Blah, 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 blah. And then you're going to find out that he's fake. And he's probably going to be in a Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini, which would be kind of toxic for you with your chart. Okay. The fella that I like is right here. So this card is called the Creator. This is an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius man. I actually think he's a softer fire sign. So he probably has maybe a Pisces rising or a Cancer moon, but there's something very caring about this man. He's showing up right here in the middle of your spread of cards, next to the best card anyone can get in a reading. And in traditional tarot, this card's called the World. All right. So you have this card right in front of you. So when you say that you finally feel like the best years are ahead of you, well, they are ahead of you. Not only do I think they're ahead of you, but I think that if you wrote a screenplay highlighting or based on your own life, and then thought about what actress could play you, right? Maybe it's Lady Gaga that could
Nicole
play you,
Kidman.
or Nicole
Ooh.
Kidman. But I think what happens here is that you actually write the screenplay, and then you work with a ghost screenwriter so that they refine it. But what I'm getting here is that this is a deep dive into the spiritual commitment your soul made in this lifetime, because you have the great love in your life. I do a lot of readings for a lot of people. They don't get to have that. You got that. So I'm wondering if the name of this story or this piece, and it might even be just a story you write for frickin' AARP, right? Life begins at 55, whatever it is, right? But what it's saying here is that it's a deep dive into your soul commitment as to why you're here. But it's the most successful card in the whole deck. So you were pushed out of the nest against your will when Kevin passed. But this is saying you need to recognize the angels that are around you right now. So you're going in a brand new direction. You're still very, very well loved. But there are going to be two men. There's going to be one guy that you really feel familiar with because he's going to remind you of Kevin. But he's not the one.
It's so like I don't even let that in my field.
I'm just telling you. Love finds you. Okay. And then there's this fire sign man who I absolutely adore, but he's a soft fire man. And what I mean by that is that he's great in bed. Don't get me wrong. So there's no soft there. I'm just saying this this man is kind. He's quiet. He is, and worships you, just thinks you're the best, thinks his peanut butter and sliced bread, just fabulous. And that this is the guy that it's Taco Wednesday at Roberto's. It's your turn to pick the Netflix series. This guy is the guy that incorporates right into your life and with your cats. And one of your cats ends up really bonding with this guy. It becomes his cat.
Because it is me and the cats.
Right. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Not in the crazy cat lady
No,
way
no,
at all.
No.
Like beautiful brilliance cat lady.
Anyway, go ahead, Rainey.
He wanted me to tell you he didn't blame you for walking away. That he loved you more than he loved the addiction. That it just took over his physical human form.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you for loving him, because there haven't been many people where he really loved him for who he was.
No.
They loved him for the persona. And he said, she loved my ugly face. Is that something he would say?
I did. I never had that before.
Every nook and cranny of him.
I did.
Well, that's what real love is, It's falling in love with where the heart beams through.
Yeah.
I know Kris is dying to say something.
So I wanted to touch on some eclipses that are coming up. So we're currently in the Aries Libra series of eclipses, and so that's been touching your money houses. So not only your second house of your earning potential, but then your eighth house of other people's money. But that also surrounds inheritance and windfalls and bonuses and commissions and things like that. But and then also the metaphysical. But I wanted to touch on, because we have we're going to be starting a new series, and it's the Pisces Virgo, and where it falls in your chart is it falls in your first house of self. So it's a new direction, a new path. Kind of reinventing yourself, and then also seventh house of partnerships. And so we have a full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces coming up, and it's going to hit your first house. And so that indicates like there is this, and you'll get this sense of like a chapter ending and then this new one beginning. And so it's going to be very healing for you as well, because you have a lot of water in your chart.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to touch on your your water aspects, which is you have Venus and you have your Mars. So your Venus is like your love, the way you give love, the way you receive love. So it's going to connect with that as well. So it's going to be very healing for you. But you'll feel the sense of completion, and it's like, I feel like I can move on to the next chapter of my life. And so then it starts this new series of these brand new beginnings. You'll have that for the next probably about 2.5 years.
That's interesting. You know, this is hitting me upside the head, because the last thing walking in here I expected was, and it's literally all of these years since his passing first was just getting through all of that, which just didn't end, and then all these years still having the relationship with his, you know, with his mother and so on and so forth. But for me to put it all in perspective and pulling through that, it became where I'm at the best with the relationship. Because your relationship with you, no matter if you would have gone through this with Kevin or not, you've got to have this relationship right first before it's never about another person. But when it's a soulmate connection, like I don't know if you guys know this, but I've studied animal communication. I am animal communicator. We're all channels. I've grown up around that. Yes. And so one of the things that I learned when, obviously I've outlived all of my animals, but I had one in particular that took me down like Kevin did. And I went, and what it really literally opened, like your heart chakra gets burst
You're
open.
familiar.
You can't stop
That's what this cat was.
the grief. And so I had that where you have soulmate connections with your animals. So I have thought that this new chapter, last thing on my mind is there's any man coming in. However, what I find very interesting, that I have pushed this where I don't want to hear it. And I know when you're in denial about something, oh, it's not going away. Your soul's, if it's meant to be. The fact that you two, knuckleheads over here, and then you, that you would bring up about my life story. I have been asked to write this so many times. I've been asked to tell the story, and I have gone, nope. And now, like I said, the last thing when I walked in here is, well, you know, this right there, and I've started to write it a few times, and then I just said, it can't be what my destiny is. This has got to be my chapter.
Well, the thing is about that butterfly is it's the solar plexus. It was bright yellow. And this is what I call your yellow brick road. And you are on your yellow brick road, and you are home just being you. And the world and women need to hear your story and your voice, because there's a lot of little girls out there, like my little Luna bird, my little grandbaby, that needs inspirational women who have really gone through the fire. You have fought to be where you are. I think even as your birth, as you were coming out, you fought to get out. Get me out of here. I am being born.
Your spirit couldn't wait to be here.
No. Yeah. And other little girls out there need your story of triumph, that you can get through the dark and come back into the light and fly.
It's interesting when you come out as an energetic sensitive and an empath, which I did when I was younger, and I was raised in the mountains, which of course I would commune with nature. The last thing, and again, when we go to, well, here's what your soul has in mind, you know, that's all good and well, but you're going into broadcasting, which means radio and TV. I went kicking, it's like the cat to the water.
Yeah.
Okay, radio, I can hide behind that, I'm not seen. But TV, which became a mainstay of my career for many, many years, was everything that even my career I did kicking and screaming. And so just yesterday when I was in the studio, I thought, you know, you love this. You love doing your show in the studio, which I always have. Radio and music were my first love, which was one of the things that brought Kevin and I together. And so I think, again, at the point where I am, I just surrender to, you're not going to fight your soul if it's in your contract and what you came here to do. And, and we won't say numbers on me, but, you know, there's only X amount of time here to
Girlfriend, you're going to live a long time.
Yeah, you're not going.
You're going to be one of those.
My father's 96, by the way. Good genetics.
There you go. Great genetics.
And cognitive super brain.
And beautiful hair and a beautiful smile. You you're just grace. You're full of grace, and that's going to carry you through.
I'm
Maybe that-
so
maybe-
touched by this. That you guys haven't. You've never met me.
I
She hasn't
don't know
seen me
much
in over 20
about you.
years, and
I'm sorry. I really don't know much about you. I'm sorry. I probably
no,
should.
I'm so touched
No,
by
she's my voice on 97.1. So it's like, so all these years, it's like,
See,
even though I haven't
listen to
seen her in
Rainey.
20 years, it's like, to me, she's like right
Girlfriend.
there, because it's like when you watch a news broadcaster before you go to sleep at night, it's like he or she's in your bedroom. So you know them, right? Well, there are all these hundreds of thousands of people in Vegas that listen to you every day, and they all think they know you.
I always try, and as you guys know, the frequency that you hold, the transmission that comes, it's not oftentimes what you say, it's what's behind what you're saying.
Right.
And if I can come from a place of love, especially in these, various timelines that are
Oh,
adjusting and
my
conflicting,
God.
and the frequencies and the energy and the rattling of people, easily disturbed, whether they're driving or the
Right.
frustration, they don't even know what they're picking up on. If they hear my voice on the air, I just feel better when I hear you, because it doesn't matter if I'm talking about.
Well, it
a
doesn't matter what
story
you're
or
talking
funny,
about.
It doesn't matter. It matters. Well, I'm coming from a place of heart-centered consciousness as best as I can to
Right.
hold a frequency of being grounded and balanced, and that joy is the nature here. Let's be the dolphin. Let's be
Yes.
the rainbows, the unicorns, but
Yeah.
the dolphins and whales that hold that. Let's get back to
Spirals
The
and
frequency.
butterflies, man.
And
Right?
and you
Have
know
some
we're
fun.
in a battle between dark and light right now. And you are the light, and we need more light. We need you to keep shining your light as bright as you can. And little butterfly, it's time to fly, girl, because you now have both wings back. Who is your sister's? Like, I keep hearing my best friend that I ever had. I'm a terrible singer. Sorry if I
That's
heard
fine.
everybody's. Is that your
That's cool.
sister to you? Your sister, your real sister, is your sister?
No, my
like
real
your best
sister,
friend?
actually, she's coming in this week for a visit. Now,
Spirit is asking for you to get closer and clean
I
house.
have recapitulated my relationship with my sister. It's very good right now, but we're completely different. I have so many on the other side.
Mm.
My best friends are literally animals, I would say, those on the other side.
Well, I resonate to the soul critters when they go, because when my husband and I we got our first two cats shortly after we got married. We got these two cats, Toby and Elliot. Toby was this big black cat, even as a kitten, this big black cat, and Elliot was this little frail thing. Elliot's teeth ended up growing all the way down to his incisors grew all the way down, so he had like these saber-toothed tiger teeth, and he was just sweet and stupid. It was a cute cat, but he was sweet and stupid. Toby, on the other hand, smart cat, and my husband's cat. So it's like if my husband was sitting at the table, this cat would sit next to him, put his paw right here, and just leave his paw right here. When my husband would walk in the room, we called it the Toby tumble. He would roll over on his back, and he was 23 pounds, so it was a big.
Oh,
It was a big-
that's a big boy.
It was a big tumble.
That's a big boy.
And he would only let my husband pet his belly,
That is.
but he expected my husband to pet his belly. When that cat passed, we're devastated.
Losing a child.
I still get a bit choked up when I think of it. I mean, I get goosebumps right now. That cat,
Their
that
contracts.
being, oh my God.
It is literally like losing a child.
You know what I found, though, in my animal communication studies with people, that oftentimes when it's a soulmate contract with an animal, they come back to you.
I do believe that.
At the right time
They
in your
come back,
life.
you know it, you know that, and it may not be, if a dog coming back is a dog or a cat is a cat, oftentimes it is. But they always find, all animals find you. Sometimes we think, well, I found this or I adopt. No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
It's
They
your
choose
soul
you.
animal.
I had this, it was an agreement, like most contracts are. It was made in advance. But when it's a soulmate contract, they come back to you, or certainly they're always connected with you, through the dream state and everywhere else.
And
But
they come to
but
you at the exact time that you need them.
It is, and it's to blast that heart chakra open. But it's like you said, there's a difference. We've all lost animals here, and I grieve. I'm not saying that the grieving is. It's never easy.
Right.
It doesn't get easier.
But there are
But
some.
when you have one, it is so. I remember writing about it, and I said it drops you to your knees immediately, takes the wind out of your sails. You can't breathe. Your breath out. I said I cried more tears in 24 hours. I could raise the water levels at Lake Mead. It's uncontrollable emotion that I had never experienced that intense except for Kevin. Where I had to learn, and then you start suppressing, which isn't the best thing either. But with the cat, it almost like when Gigi, and let me tell you something about Gigi. She came in. Okay, this is tie something together. Why? I flew to there's a movie that's called So Now You're Here, There's No Way Back, which is the story of Quiet Riot and how do they continue without their lead frontman. This guy was a dynamic, charismatic frontman that performed in front of 400,000 people at the US Festival. They were the first heavy metal band to reach #1 on Billboard's charts with Come On Feel the Noise
And
in
this is Kevin?
1983. This is Kevin, who was the lead singer, and they sold over 10 million albums. It was a big deal. So I told you we had broken up. It was, you come to Thanksgiving, he loved to eat. First of all, he loved food. And we always would spend Thanksgiving either with a special couple that we had here that made a way out.
Oh, yeah.
Or my sister in San Francisco in the Bay Area in Pacifica. So I told you about a month before it just became, I knew I had picked up there was a death coming and it was going to be him or me. Maybe I shouldn't have all this in here, but I had picked up that I needed to get out, but make sense to go to your sister,
Right.
and just you have to get out of this relationship,
Right.
Because I
You had to remove
one
yourself
of my
at
last
least.
lines
Yeah.
was, I'm not going to be the one to call your mother about your dead body.
Right.
It was. Long story short, I go to San Francisco for that weekend for Thanksgiving, and I get a phone call from a friend of mine. He was supposed to be at a roast on television for Gene Simmons of Kiss. And so they all had my number and said, well, where's Kevin? I said, well, I had no idea. He's not with me. But I knew Kevin, and I knew he would never not be with this one British rock royalty or miss an opportunity to be on camera.
Right.
I knew in that moment. So I made some phone calls. It's all in the movie, so I'm not saying anything that I didn't say on camera, 17, whatever, how many. Movie came out in 10, whenever it came out. When I got on the plane to go to my sister's, I had to make a stop to get special cat food at the vet up the street for my one elderly cat. When I walked into the vet before I was going to the airport, behind the counter, nobody was there except for this black cat batting a ball around. And I took one look at this cat, and I went, so are you the receptionist now? Are you supposed to be here? Can you get somebody? So the girl comes out. I go, what's the deal with this cat? Oh, well, someone left her on the front desk. I go, no. I have to get to the airport. I have to get on a plane. I was leaving this bag of special food in my car. I have to get to the airport and catch a plane. I will pick up this cat when I come back. I'll be back on Monday. Kevin died the next day. That was a Friday. I go to the airport. Thanksgiving was that weekend. I come back, get that cat. He had passed that weekend. So look at the timing of when she came in. At some point, I had to shut the grieving down with Kevin because, as what you were saying, I can't function. And I think when Gigi died, it brought the rest of that piece to blow out of my heart so that I could move forward. Yeah. And so it was just interesting how animals, they are always gifts, but a soul contract, a soulmate animal comes in and you have a contract. And there it was to complete this thing so that I could have a new chapter come in. And that's been just a few years ago that happened. Wow.
That explains to me
maybe we're getting too deep here, but
why he said, I understand why you walked away.
It was going to be.
Didn't I say something like that earlier?
Yeah. I knew it was getting to the point where I couldn't energetically, as an empath, as we all know, you can't. One or the other of us was going to go. I got the message I had enough of my teachers on the other side that said, you getting out, we're pulling you out of this situation.
Was it addiction?
Because that was addiction.
Wow.
And you know, I had tried intervention, I had talked
Nothing
to him,
would have worked.
and it became where you're just the one lying and hiding in it. I couldn't live that anymore. My nervous system, you know, it's just because you know that when the next time you don't answer the phone
Yeah.
you just know it's coming down the pipeline, and that you have to make a bold, you have to be stronger than this, that it's not getting better. Let's look at the real reality of it. And we did a thing for Bravo TV where we were both presenters and I was on the red carpet. That was when I said, this ends with me here.
Right.
I didn't even think you'd make this. And this was a national broadcast TV
Wow.
event. And I said, my nervous system was
Shot.
can you even, I couldn't function.
Fight or
Oh,
flight.
man.
But at least, you know, like I said, I got the message. It was either going to be one or the other of us, but someone's going. So you make the decision, because I think sometimes those things, the contracts are, here it is. This is the turn that he's taken. You know, everything comes down to free will of choice, which can change the directions of things sometimes. But it
In a
wasn't
big way.
And I think that,
Yes.
and I had been told this before, that there were so many lifetimes of this flip-flop relationship,
Sure.
this and that, but it wasn't meant to be me.
Wow. Wow.
But to understand, for you guys to feel, like I said, I'm really happy now, and that it took, you can't go back and say, I wish it wouldn't have taken me so long
Okay, but
to
it's
feel happy about life, but
I'm
now
saying something you'd say to somebody else. It's all divine timing.
all divine timing.
and that you've worked through this karma, and now it's like you're at Baskin Robbins, you're holding ticket number 18,
That's my
and they're-
turn.
and they're calling you and saying, Lark, it's your turn. And you know, the four of us could spend the whole afternoon talking about all of this, but we have to close the
Yes, we do.
program.
Well, you know what I find interesting, and I'll just say this one last piece, is that for those of you who know me, as much as I've been a public person my whole life, I'm an extremely private person. For me to be this kind of transparent, I don't know what magic spell you put on me, but I'm okay with it. I have nothing to hide, and you don't know what's going to help someone else by what you have overcome and gone through, because it's time to shine for everybody.
Well,
I love your light.
Yeah, I do too.
thank you so much for
Thank
being
you
a part
for
of this.
having me.
Thank
Miss
you for being
Mona.
so vulnerable.
What a
and so
vehicle
wonderful.
she was.
Oh my God.
My eyelashes are going to pop off from
Oh,
crying.
I know. I get it. I get it. All right, you guys, thank you again so much for tuning into this program. We will be back live soon. We love you all. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
God bless.